and CLG.
Yeah, no one on FlyQuest, I think, saw that at all. There was no ping on the map from any player. They didn't know that the Gragas was there, and they're able to execute that gank. And now Moon is going to have to cover mid lane because of this, so he can't even try to pull off something on the bot side.
Now you guys know when you're overextended in lane and your teammates tell you to buy wards, you can just say that it didn't work for FlyQuest. Why should I have to do it? Moon now holding mid lane. A little bit of a replay of how Smithy got in here.
And we'll see. I think he just shows up for the slightest amount of time. It's almost impossible to spot that. But they're able to take advantage. They're able to grow aggressive. Once High has blown his flash, there's almost no avoiding the body slam flash. Nothing he can really do in that situation. And getting that early kill for Huhi is very important, because if Vladimir gets ahead, he can be so oppressive.
Of course, the kill credit did go over to Smithy, but Huhi still grabbing assist money, 200 extra gold in the pocket on the Vladimir. And Vladimir is one of those champions where after he can actually itemize defensively. He can itemize a Spirit Visage. It can be very effective. And then Syndra's just like, well, I'd love to burst somebody, but it can't be him.
Yeah, Visage, even Abyssal is great. We've seen Huhi go for things like Merc Shreds in a lot of these matchups. High already roaming down here, though. They're looking for a very early dive. This could be risky.
High has no ult. Keep that in mind. Afromoo going to be taken low. Tries to go for the death sentence. Only finds it onto a minion. Elimination barely getting himself away. Stixay, now the lone man standing underneath the tier 1 turret. High didn't even need the ulti to make that one work.
Yeah, whoa, TP back in. Moon is already waiting for this. This is going to be bad for Darshan. We'll see if he can escape.
This could be bad news, Bears, but here we go. 1v2 for CLG's top laner. Steadfast Presence trying to walk himself away, but it's not going to be looking to do a whole lot. A little bit more damage, and Balls cuts him down.
Nicely played there by Moon. He waits for the TP back. The lane is pushing, so it will be frozen on Darshan. That prompts the TP. Moon lies in wait, gets the kill. But here's the dive again on the bot side, and like Afro said, whether High is behind or not, he's always looking for kills. And this hook hitting that minion so key. That could have been the trade kill on elimination. But FlyQuest making things happen on both sides of the map. So Darshan bases, and as I said, the waves stacked up so that Balls will freeze this if you don't TP back. So he TPs back, but there's no jungle protection. And Moon has anticipated this and is already in place, able to grab an easy kill.
Yeah, that was a great read by Moon, and that's so much of playing Evelyn is, right? You have to be able to read the map, know where to be at the right time. It's not a champion that excels in 2v2s or things where you can just get bursted down. It's a champ that's about abusing your opponent's weak spots.
And getting the difference in getting a kill when someone has TP versus killing them as they TP back is so big, because you're able to easily crash the wave, you deny the CS, you deny the experience, and it means once again the wave resets and will push towards your opponent, so you're very easily re-ganked again.
Game is still dead even though. 10.4 to 10.4 thousand gold. Sheen purchased on Balls, and remember, for those of you who may not be aware, Precision Protocol, the true damage on Balls' Q for Camille, it's going to convert the Spellblade
Moon
proc
is
from
6, though, looking for a repeat dive here again. We'll see if they can pull it off. Elimination gets the aggro.
Going for it. Ulti onto 2. Afromoo going to be targeted. More damage coming in. Now they've managed to get themselves the kill while getting eliminated away yet again. Huhi going for the 1v1 against High. Drops the Hemo Plague. That'll heal him back up here in just a second. Power Transfusion also going to be ready in just a moment to get that Crimson Rush, bring himself back to up to even greater health, and he'll walk away just fine.
FlyQuest has been putting so much pressure on this bot side and really making a good job of it. Not only are they going to get the kills, but this is the big payoff. All that pressure they have gotten is going to net them the first turret. We'll see if they give it over all to Altec, and they do. So now that Ashe is going to be funneled so much gold here.
So important to get him as ahead as you can, as fast as you can.
I mean, just look at the gold balloon, right? That is the payoff that they've been working towards. Chipping down those turrets is sometimes the unseen advantage that teams have been working towards.
1,000 gold is the lead right now for Altec over his lane opponent. And like we talked about last game, these crit builds take a little bit of time to come online. Ezreal's not going to take quite that long because he doesn't go for a traditional AD carry build. I mean, he's not going for lethality, but a Mana Moon and a Trinity Force is still faster than 3 crit items. So Altec more than happy to have that little bit of a boost, catching up and getting all that money where it needs to be.
Yeah, and especially knocking down that first turret. Now Huhi has to be that much more careful, because you can easily make the bot lane rotation to mid. You can look for picks with your Ashe arrow. You can kind of go anywhere. Huhi, though.
Huhi just walking right into the brush, finding the Tides of Blood onto 2. Afromu putting himself in a spot where he might be in some danger. Alltech wanted to make this kill happen with the focus fire. More damage going to be poured in there, but the blast cone gets Afromu away to safety.
Huhi could be in trouble here.
Trying to back away from this one. High, trying to find some damage on Smithy or Huhi, but Huhi's already popped the Sanguine Pool. The Ignite comes down. Moon's chasing them down. The Hate Spike, one more proc will do it, but Huhi, a flash of his own, getting him away to safety. Smithy's still waiting over the wall. Moon will not chase this further.
So close there to Huhi going down. I think he actually ran out of mana. I mean, he has the blue buff now, so he has regen, but it seems like he had his ultimate available, so I can only imagine it was there. Otherwise, should have been able to pick up that kill. The FlyQuest pressing, and they're looking very strong in this game too so far.
And that's what they needed to do. Game number 1 was shaky. Game number 1, they weren't able to get off to those crazy playmaking victories that FlyQuest depends on to win.
Oh, Huhi.
Number 2, they're finding the pick onto Huhi. Elimination. The one grabbing the kill credit, even though High shoots off the ulti.
Yeah, Huhi stepping a little bit too far forward there. Doesn't have any MR. Wanted to stay around to pick up the wave. Gets punished. And honestly, FlyQuest have leads in every lane at this point. It's going to be down to CLG's team play.
Yeah, FlyQuest is making this game their own here in game number 2. They want to take this to a third one, bring this series full circle, make it all happen. Infernal Drake the first one, so that's going to be highly valuable, and there's Huhi gets caught.
And Huhi kind of got baited by that empowered Q. He thought if he could get that off, he would survive and be able to stay around and pick up the rest of the farm, but instead, nice stun comes out from High, anticipating that.
It's a good Drake pickup for CLG. That's something that'll help staunch this bleeding a little bit because FlyQuest is 3,000 gold ahead at 10 minutes.
One thing, though, to kind of measure your expectations with this Infernal is that really, when you look across the board, who's building AD and AP? It's not really your jungler heavily. It's not your top laner. So it's pretty much just Huhi and Stixxay.
And honestly, Stixxay is not really building much of anything. He's got a tier and a Sheen.
And I mean, if you look at Ezreal's build path, he builds like more attack speed. There's obviously a lot of attack speed in the Blade of Rune King, in the Triforce, and all these sorts of things. So you don't always have massive amounts of AD, so you don't always get as much out of the Infernal as you want with a comp like this.
Right. Also considering that you've got more of a tanky, bruisery style jungler as opposed to a damage heavy one like what you're looking at on the side of FlyQuest.
Yeah.
Not a lot of payoff there either.
Yep, certainly so, but that's the trade. That is why you pick Poppy into Camille. And you can knock him up, stun him into the wall if he tries to jump onto you. But High roaming up, Darshan doesn't have any MR.
High finds him, but a good flash away by Darshan barely gets him out of the range of the stun. So High's rotation blows that summoner spell, but will not be able to find anything additional.
But High has been everywhere. He roams down level 5, gets killed bot, roaming up top, forcing a flash. He's up in CS despite getting ganked and first blooded. High has been having a very solid game.
And this kind of goes back to what we heard High talk about right before the game. We don't care about winning this because of the standings. That's not really even our concern. We want to win this so we can get our heads back in the right place for this final week and be in a good spot trying to head into playoffs.
8, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Each game matters throughout the season, but definitely towards the end, it gets a little more high pressure because the teams in the bottom of the standings want to get those last few wins to try to make it into playoffs.
We can be much better than what we've shown the split. All that's going to matter is these next couple games and the fact that we can make the playoffs.
CLG turning heads with the win over Cloud9.
Right now, I just want to finish off the split in a way that would make me happy. I really want to be able to make it to Vancouver.
Now or never.
The goal is just making playoffs at this point. Really, every win matters. So we're just going to be trying our hardest to make it in.
Even though we go to playoff, we must win those teams to go MSI.
Now or never.
I think we really just need to focus on getting those wins, especially on the lower tier teams, so that we can boost ourselves out of relegations.
Now or never.
At the end of the day, we just want playoffs, and just winning LCS is the goal.
Now or never.
Welcome everyone to the North American League Championship Series. We're coming to you live from our studios here in Los Angeles, California, ready to go to cast some League of Legends action. It's going to be amazing here in the studio, of course. We've got excited fans in the studio ready to watch the games. Of course, we are here ready to rock as well. Lots of people outside, including Tibbers. Wonderful. Well done. Congratulations on that one. TSM have been looking strong in first place, walking ready to keep that one going. Acadian, listen to some sick tunes. Hoping to drop some bodies and hit the floor. Who knows? Phoenix 1 coming into this one as well, looking pretty good. Have a chance of taking over second place by the end of it all. Immortals also surging strong. Several good showings. You can see they're setting up for their first match of the day as well. It's going to be a fun one. Hello, everyone. I am David Freak Shirley, hosting the analyst desk for the wonderful, the amazing, the outstanding Mark Z and also Zyrene.
I'm kind of disappointed. We have the Saturday special with Scar.
TSM here at the very beginning here. Cloud9 also right now sitting in second place. Of course, Phoenix 1 can challenge that, but there is a very tight race below that for playoff spots. FlyQuest has dropped down to 6th, and there's a lot of teams are very close to them as well. Of course, Dignitas already claiming 5th right now with their early surges. Now, looking on to what's on tap today, we can see that TSM will face Echo Fox at the very beginning in the battle arena. Following them will be Counter Logic Gaming taking on FlyQuest. Two playoff teams right there. Meanwhile, NALCS 2 will also host a couple of matches with Phoenix 1 taking on Immortals. Both these teams have been looking very good later on in the split, and then Ninja plus the rest of Team Envy will take on a maybe slumping Cloud9, of course, piloted by Jensen in the mid lane. Now, the big surprise coming out of yesterday is the fact that the once dominant Cloud9 has started dropping some matches.
Round by, it was basically between them and TSM to see who's going to finish first. Now you're looking at it and you think that they might not even actually get that bye and will be having to play in the first round of playoffs.
Yeah, Cloud9 looks so dominant, but now Phoenix 1 are coming up as those big contenders. Arrow looks on point every single damn game. Ryu also has been stepping it up and finding some great consistency, and it doesn't seem to matter whether they're using Meteos or Nori in the jungle and also bringing on Stunt. The core of that team has really stepped up, including the top lane Zig.
And for Cloud9, we always talked about how, well, they're losing with Ray, they're subbing him out a lot, Impact out a lot. Well,
the game and really just carrying from that top lane. And so FlyQuest, there's a lot of questions here about, is this team still a playoff team? And I feel like from strength of schedule, they
as well, but Gate isn't even 6 because TSM's jungle and mid laner are roaming to this left-hand side. Second
play here, though.
Second blue over to Bjergsen, and now Froggen's going to get denied. That's a huge loss in mid lane.
Yeah, and just a little bit of a lack of coordination right there, as Gate and Froggen were hoping to get a pick, but Gate walks forward well ahead of Froggen, kind of blows the cover of the play by whiffing a tongue lash, and just makes all that rotation actually have no damage on the entire TSM team. They're left with a smattering of control wards, but not much else.
Well, Gate's going to clear this one out, so a bit of vision now going to drop for TSM. Svenskeren, though, back towards the mid lane, does have his ultimate ready, so Bjergsen with the shockwave can just try and make something happen here. Biofrost going to clear out this ward. Looks like TSM are trying to get vision around the Drake area. Maybe just look for an invade. I mean, they've already opened up the bottom side of the map with Total and Biofrost taking down the turret, so it's a pretty easy invade. Acadian, though, going to get the Gromp. Tongue Lash going to miss, and TSM don't need to overcommit here. Good chump from Froggen. Bjergsen taking damage, but Orianna feeling pretty healthy right now.
Yeah, Bjergsen always a player who keeps a lot of health potions early on in laning phase. He's able to make map plays if he ends up taking heavy harass. You can see the ward coverage already on TSM after the turret. He's kind of easily taking this Cloud Drake. This is turning into a pretty solid early game for TSM.
Ooh, good hook from Haunter. Loop is overheated, so he's just going to win the trade very nicely for himself. Spectre's Carl going to start helping out Haunter in his 1v1, although Looper should have his first major item finished shortly as well. Cloud Drake over to TSM as well. That's kind of what all of that vision and invasion was set up for. Sure, they don't get a kill and some extra gold, but they pretty cleanly take an objective.
Yeah, and I feel like this is actually quite interesting, seeing TSM's Drake percentage of 59.7% being the first in the NALCS at just 60%. Adds on to our story of the fact that TSM actually isn't an incredibly dominant team. Their game record is actually second or third if you're just looking at game ones in the NALCS, as well as their overall win percentage not being very high, but they have been able to pull things out at the end of the series. I just thought that was interesting to point out. Doesn't have much of an impact on this game.
Certainly not right now. TSM looking good, but something they themselves are very aware of. They want to be a dominant team. They want to finish first and finish the season strong, moving themselves into the best spot in the postseason. And, you know, you do need to cleanly win versus a team like Echo Fox. You're the #1 team. You should be expected to show it. 2,000 gold up's nice, and the play does seem pretty crisp so far, though. Acadian trying to set a trap here. I think he's the one trapped.
Yeah, he's potentially going to have to burn all and flash here.
Step touching as well. Haunter flash hook. Bjergsen cleans in to collect it. Easy kill for TSM.
Yeah, Cadian doesn't quite flash away. Couldn't clear enough distance to get over the wall before the Nautilus ultimate knocked him up. If he had, Haunter wouldn't have been able to flash over the wall and get the dredge line, but just TSM with a crisp collapse.
Yep, really nice stuff there. Good confirm from Haunter. Immediately flashing as soon as he saw the ult to go off. And Bjergsen now with up Morello Nomicon finished. Feeling pretty happy here in mid lane. In fact, Froggen can't afford to eat too much more damage. Gate continuing to roam here. Now going to try and make a play on the bottom side. Missile Voyage over. Froggen's already here. Arrow hits on the Froggen though. And now Bifrost is going to kite back and protect him. Turtle's fine there by the looks of things. This has to keep kiting Gate. Wildroot gets burnt for the knock-up. And the rest of TSM's now here to reinforce. Exhaust does go down, but Gate's now caught in the thick of it. He should be going down. He does eat Wild Turtle, but not enough to kill him. Haunter comes down just to make sure. And TSM, their 4th kill of the game.
Turtle dodged both Qs from Froggen's Ari as well as the ultimate from Keith. You can argue whether dodged and missed are synonymous in this situation, but they did not land on him because what was a good play didn't work out because of the execution of TSM as well as Fox right there. And it turns a kill around when Echo Fox used so many of the resources to try and get it.
Yeah, Lupa holding onto his TP, but actually roams mid lane just to lay the ultimate down, trying to deter Bjergsen from pushing any further. But I mean, Haunter's now getting bot wave pressure, and kind of watch how this collapse happen again. Turtle's so far forward here as well.
He does land the arrow onto Froggen, which allows him to clear distance. Then watch dash, misses the Q. Also then sidesteps the ultimate. Froggen, while he does land the charm, was waiting on his Q cooldown, and that one misses as Wild Turtle flashed away. And while all that is happening, the rest of TSM is slowly collapsing down and whittling away at Gate's health. So I feel like that was a pretty good play by Wild Turtle to get himself out of that situation. Here comes the dive.
Set up for the dive. Shockwave lands. It's 2. Gate eats it. And that might get them both killed. Gate already dead to Haunter. And now Froggen tied up and Whimsy's under the turret fence. Garen gets the next one, and TSM with a clean dive.
Yeah, this is looking more like Game 3 TSM from yesterday. And Pixie, you and I were talking. TSM only has 3 2-0 victories on the year compared to 10 2-1 victories. So they've been that team that kind of grinds out series, but they themselves, if they want to build confidence going towards playoffs, would like to have